To this video series. Now this is all about creating your first website. My name's David Thorne. A little bit of information about myself is I've been developing, just call it developing, for the past 10 years. I professionally create applications, and I've obviously created many other video series about how to do things, but you know, some of these videos were made like 4 or 5 years ago, and so I thought I'd redo it, because after looking at a lot of analytics of what videos people have looked at already, it seems to be, lots and lots of newbies are entering the web development market, and they need to learn how to do it. So let's start from the beginning. Let's show you how. I potentially wouldn't do it this way, but if I was creating a single website and I didn't have much knowledge, then this is the way that I would be going. All right, but we can slowly move into a little bit more advanced stuff as we go along. This is going to be a pretty long video. I might split it down into a few videos. I don't know. It depends on how long I can keep going without any stops. All right, so let's just continue on. I've created a Git repository, and that is then here. So if you go to github.com/David Thorne /first-websites, and then you can download this. Now at the moment it's empty, but we're going to be creating it as we go along. I've created a kind of to-do list of the stuff that we should be thinking about doing. So I'm just going to go through this from top to bottom. Step number one is create templates. All right, and in this we then need to add an index.html, add a style sheet, that'd be a CSS file. In this situation, we're going to use jQuery, so we're going to add jQuery, add an app.js file to our index.html so as we can have some JavaScript as well. Listen to document.ready events so we know when the actual page is loaded. And then after that, we're going to add a backend service, test the connection using Ajax within our website. So if you kind of think about the two of these things here, we're separating the logic into two separate things, and that is going to be a front end and a back end. All right, the front end is the client, is what is the website that's going to get delivered to the customer, the user, the person who's looking at your website. All right, the back end is where all of the secret data is stored, and your front end and back end need to be able to communicate with each other, and we're going to do this using Ajax. Okay, and we're going to use jQuery to do this Ajax request. Now, don't worry about it. We're going to go through this step by step. All right. So, first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to make, when I can type it correctly, make directory of front end and make a directory of then back end. Right now we have two folders, and all of our front end stuff is going to sit in the front end folder, and it's going to have nothing to do with the back end at all. So inside of the front end, we want to then have an index.html, and we want to then make another directory in then the front end, and we're going to say that's the CSS, and we're going to make another one of then JS, for JavaScript, and then we're going to touch and make a file in the JavaScript called app.js, and in the CSS we're going to make a file called layout.css. And if we now look in here, we'll see we have a file structure of basically everything that we need. So let's now fill out our index.html, and here we want to start with a doc type. Okay, we'll explain this a little bit further later, and we want an HTML tag, and we want, whoops, I forgot one. We want a head tag. Inside the head, we want a title, and we'll call this first. We'll call this front end to distinguish between the difference between the two. And then we want body, and obviously we want then. We'll use an H1. Well, yay. I'm not used to this keyboard. And hello world. We'll also add our layout.css file and our rel. I mean, I don't do any web development really anymore. I do all iPhone applications, so I'm a little bit rusty on doing this, but for me it's good practice and I enjoy it. And so we want a script tag here now, and this href needs to be a source. I'm going to put / here as well, and this needs to go, and this needs to be closed. Whoops, are you going to close for me? Obviously not. Okay, so now we have our title. We've linked our CSS here. Okay, we've added our style sheet rel here. We've added a script tag here. Right. Next script tag, and we're going to go through all of this shortly once I've written it all. And we're going to say source equals. I'm going to come back to my README, and we're going to copy this here, and we're going to chuck that in there. Okay. So now we've basically added an index.html file. Done. That's here. Add a style sheet, layout.css. Done. Add jQuery. We've done that. We added that in our script tag. Added app.js file. That's here. We've done that. And we've added that to then the HTML. Listen to document.ready. That's something that we still need to do. But before we do that, let's do a little bit of cleanup of information here. Okay. If you're new to web development, then what we've essentially done here is we've created our base website here, and this index.html file is your base website, right? And it's the thing that when someone goes to your website of website.com, and that could be with a trailing slash or without a trailing slash. So this in this scenario would be someone types in websites.com. Okay, and when I mention with no trailing slash, then it means it's written just as it is here. But when someone has written a trailing slash, then that's what I'm talking about, with a trailing slash. Now, most browsers will automatically append this trailing slash for you, or web servers will do it for you with the correct configuration. It doesn't sound like this hugely important thing, okay? But what this forward slash means, this trailing slash means, is which directory do we want to look into in our back end. All right, so this is the back end where we're going. Now in this scenario, this is going to our front end. All right, so it's looking where is the data in our front end, but this front end folder is located on a server. Okay, so this forward slash here says I want to be, and essentially in forward slash. So the folder that is going in our at the moment is in the directory that we have. We have first website and front end. Okay, so when it does the request, it's saying, hey, this forward slash here at the end, this is the root directory of where it wants to go. All right, and when it then says index.html, then it means go into that directory and find me the index.html. So that's an absolute path of where it wants to go, all right, because it's told you exactly where that file should be. Now, if it then says /CSS, layout.css, this is meaning that at the root directory, there should be a directory of CSS, and within inside of that directory, there should be a file called layout.css. I want you to load that content and show me, all right? So, and to make it clearer as well, when it says layout.js, or sorry, it says app.js, this once again is going to the root directory. Now, in this situation, it would be this here, okay? So your website is website.com/js/app.js. This is then exactly the same as where your website is located at the moment, all right, on my system. Okay, but over time, you're going to see this and you're going to recognize this, because we're going to go through this at very, very slow speed. Okay, so let's have a look now at what our website looks like. I've got two backend and I had front end here. I've got two PHP servers running in the background. So we come here, and this is our localhost :8080 is our front end, and then we'll get to the back end in a minute. So as you can see here, we've got our web page, okay, which is all pretty cool. Now, I'm going to leave this one video how it is, and then in the second video we'll discuss the small elements a little bit further, all right? The title, the links, the scripts, and so on. We'll go even further in detail to this, because I don't want me to jump over this stuff too fast, right? Because it can be you just didn't understand it at all right? I have 10 years of experience of doing this, so I can do these things basically without thinking, but I need to be able to understand that a lot of this in the beginning is another complete language to you, so you're not going to understand everything, which is fine, because I was there one day as well, and I'm going to help you to learn this. All right, so let's just come here, and we'll add all this, and we'll commit all this initial setup, and we'll call this and branch, and then we'll check out video 2. Okay, so yeah, that's it, and I'll see you in the next video.